Sup guys and girls and everybody else, this is Zardy and welcome to the first Q&A video on this channel. I'm very excited to answer your questions and I would like to make more episodes of Q&A, so if you have more questions just leave them in the comments down below. Also, this video will most likely be uploaded on April 30th at 10 PM UTC, which would be the midnight of May the 1st in my country, and May the 1st is my birthday. I just turned 21. Also, this is my first video where I show my VTuber model, so let me know in the comments if you like it or not. I will probably start using this model for all soft-spoken ASMR videos, like ASMR vlogs or even movie reviews or Q&A videos. So without further ado, let's go to the first questions. Let's start with the questions coming from my social medias, because I'm also on Twitter and Facebook. You can follow me there at ZardyASMR. The first question is, so with this war and all, are you afraid of a possible invasion from Russia there? So if you didn't know that yet, I live in Poland, and Poland is right next to Ukraine. Even though I lived in the southwest part of the country, which is pretty far from all that mess, I am still scared that stuff will start happening in Poland as well. And that doesn't help the fact that I suffer from anxiety, so I can be technically scared about anything. As soon as Russia steps into Poland, I am getting out of here, at least for the sake of my mental health. Either way, I support Ukrainians in their fight for the freedom. My middle school English and German teachers were Ukrainian. The next question, what's your favorite music genre? I usually listen to lots of different kinds of electronic music. For example, happy hardcore. I love DJ Cyril so much. But I also listen to different music genres as well, like pop or rock. Now, I'm gonna combine the next two questions in one in order to answer them thoroughly. The first one is from the Haggis Inquisition, saying, who was your first ASMR artist? I assume you mean, who was the first ASMR artist I've ever subscribed to? And the second question being from Odyssey ASMR and saying, what got you into ASMR? I'm gonna answer these questions by telling you a little story on how I found ASMR. Ironically, I wouldn't know what ASMR is if it wasn't for the furry fandom. I think it was the second half of 2018. One of the first I met online and became friends with started to send me some videos he enjoyed. And these used to be a bit weird videos. One of them was this exact one, ASMR Ear Numbs by Family. At first I was like, wait, people actually make such stuff? But I eventually convinced myself to play this video. And this was the first time I've ever consciously experienced ASMR. Even better, I noticed that my ears are so sensitive that if I relaxed myself well enough and played an ear licking video, I could physically feel someone licking my ears. And it was, arousing, to say the least. Since then, I knew that I wanted more tingles, and I started searching for other types of ASMR. Meanwhile, the same friend also sent me ultra hypnosis videos. Being in a trance is a pretty nice experience, actually, but what I also noticed is that people speaking softly relax me a lot. So I combined both of my discoveries together and started searching for soft-spoken ASMR as well. And that led me to the first ASMR channels I've ever subscribed to, that being Parker May Audio, great channel with ASMR roleplays, and Zach Choi ASMR, a channel with eating ASMR. More on that later. It was February 2020, a huge lockdown started, so I had to have online lessons. At that time, Parker was uploading her roleplays daily. So at that time, the first thing I would do in the morning, right after waking up before the online classes, was listening to Parker May's roleplays. I'm sure I eventually ended up listening to them at night too, but that resulted in me falling asleep before I could listen to the whole story, and that was very annoying. But since then, I fall asleep to ASMR every night. About Zach Choi's eating ASMR, I actually searched for that just for crabs and giggles, but it ended up being pretty good actually. And just like I was listening to Parker May Audio's roleplays at the morning before the classes, I was listening to Zach Choi's eating ASMR after the classes when I was doing homework. And it was actually quite relaxing, which sounds weird, but that's how it worked on me. Unfortunately, ASMR mukbangs are probably the only type of ASMR I can't fall asleep to. So to summarize the answer, who were the first ASMR artists I've ever subscribed to? These were Parker May Audio and Zach Choi ASMR. And what got me into ASMR? I guess my friends and a lot of weird but tingly experiences. The next question from the Haggis Inquisition. Why did you choose this style of video? That's probably because making ASMR, whether it's the roleplays or videos with triggers, that's one of the rare examples where I fully enjoy making the contents very often from start to finish, and I don't really have to care about the views. It sounds good when I'm recording. It feels good when I edit the ASMR, because overall when I edit the videos, any videos, I tend to listen to ASMR anyway, and while editing the ASMR, I obviously do both of the things at the same time. And when the ASMR video is done, then I can go to my bed at the night and listen to the ASMR video once again to see if I can fall asleep to it. And I usually do. It might sound a bit selfish, but I mostly make these videos for myself. Before that, I had a hard time being satisfied with my content, with my work, and now I can enjoy it even if I don't get a lot of views. Of course, it always feels good when other people enjoy my creations as well. I always appreciate all the positive comments and even the ones with constructive criticism. So thank you all so much for watching my videos. The next questions. Who are your favorite ASMR artists? These will surely be Parker May Audio, Fred's Voice ASMR, GB ASMR. She can often make me fall asleep by the computer. Hopeful ASMR. I get a lot of tingles from her, and that might be because I also like hearing people speak Japanese. Lens Audios. Their roleplays are great. Marno ASMR. And of course, I can't forget Parker's female roleplay channel, that being Monster Girl Audio. The last question from Haggis Inquisition. What other arts-based things do you do in your spare time, like drawing or making games? Unfortunately, I can't draw. At least I can't draw well. My hands have always been badly coordinated. I also always wanted to make games, but I've never had time to teach myself how to do that, and my IT technician profile only told me how to program websites. However, I think you can consider music as art as well. I've been making music since 2013. I usually make electronic dance music. I don't consider myself being very good at making music though, because I don't have that much time to practice. To be honest, if I finished all the songs I wrote for myself so far, I would have enough material for 3 whole albums. However, that's not all. Before I started this channel, my main source of income was from using autotune to turn random videos into songs. I'm not kidding, people buy that. Over the years, I've collaborated with many big YouTube channels that wanted to get some autotune remixes from me. For example, Lankypox, Gray Still Plays, and YouTubers Sing. See these views? That's my work, baby. I often combine two sorts of the music I make together. That is when people want me to create original audio-tune remixes with my own instrumental tracks, something like Shmoyoho. There's also a funny story with one of these remixes because once I got an order to remix EVA. I had to remix two videos made by King Akira, earlier known as Akira Dubs, with one of these videos being sponsored by Anime Dakimakura Pillow. 3 years later, look at me, I'm a VA myself, and I also get sponsored by ADP. Use code ADP-30 for 10% off your order. Anyway, if any one of you is interested in such remixes, there's a link in the card or in the description down below where you can order some custom remixes at Fiverr. Thinking about that, maybe I should start making custom ASMR videos or custom ASMR roleplays too. Maybe in the future. The next question comes from Odyssey ASMR. What are some of your favorite hobbies? We already talked about me making music and videos. I can consider that fun hobbies. But I also like watching stuff, usually animated stuff. Whether it's animated series like Wakfu or Teen Titans, an anime like Belle or Mirai, or a 3D animated movie like Turning Red or The Bad Guys, I like them all. I like watching other types of movies too, and I actually prefer watching them at the cinema. That way I can disconnect myself from the rest of the world, get some overpriced nachos, get comfy in a seat, and just focus on the movie and nothing else. Well, the only thing that's annoying is that sound often tends to be way too loud and my ears are very sensitive. Also, yes, I prefer nachos over popcorn. Popcorn gets stuck in my teeth and nachos are crunchier. As you remember, I like eating ASMR, and hearing myself crunch is actually de-stressing for me. Don't worry though, I always eat with my mouth closed. Kyra asks, will you be doing some more trans-affirming roleplays? That's a hard question, mostly because I tried to make roleplays in a way that everyone can listen to them, and because I would need a good original idea that would be different from my already existing RP for gender dysphoria. In case if you didn't know, since the start of the channel, all of the scripts have been written by me. So the simplest way to answer that question would be, yes, I probably will be doing more trans-affirming roleplays, but I don't know when yet. MC asks, do you have like a person you would love to collab on an ASMR video with? I actually don't. I think I would be able to collab with anyone that has good enough audio quality and that didn't have any drama lately. I'm overall open for collabs, so if you have a nice idea and you would like to collab with me, just feel free to message me on Twitter, Facebook, even Telegram, and my email address is always in the description of all videos. I usually don't ask people for collabs myself because I'm way too shy, but if there would be someone that would want to collab with me, I would give the best of myself, definitely, even when it comes to like helping with a script. We were already talking about Parker May Audio, and it looks like we got 2 questions coming from her female roleplay channel, Monster Girl Audio. The first question being, how has your identity as a trans girl affected your voice acting process, if at all? I find it difficult to record audios, sometimes due to dysphoria and not feeling like my voice is completely passing. I was wondering if you experience similar struggles. To be honest, being a trans girl did indeed affect the way I do voice acting in a few ways, I think. I've done some sorts of voice acting as early as January 2015, and I actually made 4 Polish dubs for SDF movie episodes, and I don't think I'll be able to do more of them. That's because over that time I realized that I was transgender and I started to speak with a female voice more and more, training it harder and harder. I couldn't do that all the time because I was embarrassed, and even my family would laugh at me for doing that. But I still did it often enough that it affected the way I currently speak. I naturally do a female voice without really forcing it. And since I was doing a female voice for most of the time, I got used to the female voice instead. And in order to get male voices, I had to ask my friends to record some because I couldn't do them anymore. And also doing male voices started giving me gender dysphoria. Not all people get that big gender dysphoria when they're acting as a different gender while being transgender, because that's still pretending to be some other character. But from the experience I had pretending to be a male, I never want to act as one ever again. So now I focus on female voices instead, and obviously that's where my roleplays come in. My first ASMR roleplays were actually recorded a long time before I started the channel, because I started the channel in September, but I recorded the first roleplays back in March, and that was even before I started taking hormones. I started doing that in July. I did that on purpose, so if I'd suddenly stop feeling that interested in making roleplays, like partially because of my anxiety, I would feel like, what if I won't get many views? What if no one will care about my videos? Within that moment, I would have enough roleplays recorded in advance to give myself some time and think about everything again and record more roleplays a bit later. And during that first phase, I was feeling a lot of gender dysphoria. I was afraid that my voice wouldn't be feminine enough. Because even though I have a 4-octave wide vocal range, which is rare for people overall, let alone transgender females, and even though my voice is pretty high naturally, I still felt gender dysphoria because it's not about how high your voice is, it's about its tone. And I simply just didn't want to sound like a boy with a falsetto. That's what was scaring me the most. In fact, until the Vampire Girlfriend roleplay, I used to edit my voice, changing its pitch, therefore also the tone, to make the pitch a bit higher, to make myself at least think that I would sound a bit more feminine. That was obviously because of gender dysphoria. And aside from the gender dysphoria roleplay specifically, where I purposely let people hear my real voice, it took me 18 roleplays to finally consider my voice feminine enough to not edit it. And to be honest, recording roleplays with a feminine voice was actually also a type of a training. However, even though currently there were some people that wouldn't believe that I was transgender because I was sounding so feminine, my voice doesn't always want to cooperate with me. For example, as you could see on my hoodie, I'm also gender fluid. I usually identify myself as trans female. However, I tend to switch into being non-binary. It happens on its own. And when that happens, my voice changes a bit as well. I don't always notice that because it feels normal for me. And for example, once when I recorded a roleplay, I realized that my voice changed only at the editing phase. But then instead of editing my voice to make it sound higher, I left it as it was. Because weirdly enough, I didn't feel gender dysphoria, thinking that my voice wasn't feminine enough. I was rather feeling that trying to edit my voice, it didn't sound like me anymore. That was a very weird feeling. But eventually I just left my voice as it was and marked the roleplay as NB4A, because that's how my true non-binary voice sounds like. being partially non-binary is a part of me, and I'm in the state where I never want to hide who I am inside anymore. What I mean to say by all that is two things. The first thing, if you're transgender and you really want to sound as the gender you identify as, you need to have a lot of training. Even if you can't do that all the time, just do that whenever you're able to. It will take time, but if you're persistent enough, there will be difference. Maybe you won't really hear that yourself, but other people definitely will. Keep training and you'll get there. Never give up. However, the second thing is, you should not focus on making your voice passing for others. You need to make it pass for yourself. It's your own individual voice. It's as unique as you are. No one is gonna have the exact same voice. Focusing on making the voice sound good for others will only bring you more gender dysphoria, because then you will think your training does not bring any success, and you will think your voice will never be good enough. You should make it be good enough for yourself. You should focus on training your voice because you want to feel good with it, not because you want others to feel good with it. And if you're a trans female like me, most people that support you will mostly look at your feminine character, not your voice. So here's my take on it, and here I'm gonna speak directly to Parker. Please do keep making female roleplays. That is a way of training your feminine voice, and you have people that support you. You wouldn't get that many subs if the viewers wouldn't believe in you, if they thought your voice isn't feminine enough. I do believe that you can make it. I do hear that your regular voice changed over the years, and you do sound feminine to me. And again, your voice doesn't have to be high to sound feminine. You were the inspiration for me, both in making roleplays at all and in making female roleplays being a transgender female. Whether it was from your main channel or with your now deleted female roleplay channel, you inspired me. If I can make it, then definitely so do you. Please don't give up. Once again, I believe in you. We were talking about me watching movies in this episode as well, and here's a question about movies as well. Best movie you've seen this year? Well, 2020 has only just begun, but Turning Red is great. I've seen it 5 times during the first week it premiered. I also recorded a soft-spoken review of that movie. You can see it by clicking the card, or there will be also the link in the description down below. I also liked Sonic 2 and The Bad Guys. I couldn't record reviews from these movies because the premiere dates were very inconsistent. Before I would be able to watch them, other people would have cinema premieres in their countries a month earlier. Why do movie companies do that anyway? Don't you want to earn more money in the first weekend? Next question. Aviel Caston asks, what is your favorite Pokemon? It's a hard question because I don't know that much about Pokemon. Maybe I will get more into it in the future. But for the sake of answering this question, I actually checked the whole Pokédex that's available on the official Pokemon website. And I think my favorite Pokemon is Gardevoir. Don't ask why. The next question is a bit similar. Kyra asks, what is your favorite evolution? I checked the evolution sheet and I really like Sylveon and Vaporeon. Tunpacha asks, do you plan on making any sequels to your previous audios? How about any plans on making a series or two? Usually I don't think about making series because what if I start a roleplay series and the first episode won't have too many views? That wouldn't really be encouraging to make next parts of that series. However, if one video gets more popular and one day I'll get a good idea for the roleplay, I might then try to link it with an existing video, for example, by using the same character, and that way the new roleplay will become a sequel to the earlier roleplay. That's what I did with the Tsundere and Naga roleplays. So they are technically now series, but they are not really connected with each other when it comes to the plot. In other words, I'm not really gonna make series, but I might do some sequels every now and then, creating series that way. Nero from Devil May Cry 5 asks, have you ever played the hit action game Devil May Cry 5? I actually specifically got DMC5 to answer the question, so yes, now I have played it, and it is actually kind of good. Hermes Trismegistus asks, any game recommendations? Devil May Cry 5, I guess? But to be fair, I can't really recommend any games because I haven't been able to play that much of them lately. At least the ones that are not for adults only. And the last question, are you into tabletop RPGs? I've never actually tried them yet. I certainly don't know how to play Dungeons and Dragons, but if there was someone that could show me everything step by step, that could teach me how to play and then actually play with me, there is a chance that I might get into such stuff. And that will be it for today's Q&A video. I would love to do more, so if you have more questions, just leave them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, you can show it some love by leaving a like and subscribing with the bell to not miss other Q&A videos or other ASMR videos on my channel overall. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at ZardyASMR. And if you want to support the channel, there are links in the description down below, for example, for coffee. I really appreciate all the support. Thank you so much for 2,500 subscribers. And now I'm gonna go buy the maid dress because I promised to buy a maid dress at 2,500. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and good night.